Yeah. So, hello, Claudia.
Hello.
Today we have this conversation in English. I'm super grateful that you have remembered me that because we have spoke before in Portuguese, whenever it's both Portuguese speakers, and Claudia lives in Madeira Island, and I'm in south of Portugal. And we did some conversations in Portuguese, and then I said to Claudia, let's do one in English because very much that my foreign friends from all over the world that they also understand and know you a little bit better. And so I'm super grateful and joyful that you have accepted the invitation and then remembered me that like aren't we going to do an English conversation because I had
I was
forgotten.
like, hello, because hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the invitation. The thing is, I love a good challenge, and for me, because as you said, we did two conversations in Portuguese, and of course, Portuguese is our comfort zone because we are both Portuguese. But at the same time, I like the challenge, and to be able to speak in English, it's another challenge, and it's also a pleasure because it kind of reminds me of the time where I was able to speak in English like most of the day because I lived in England for about 4 years of my life. So I had to speak in English in a daily basis. So for me, it's like going back to that time and to be able to communicate in English. It's such a pleasure. And at the same time, we can reach more people from your community. And so I'm very happy and grateful to be here. And and at the same time, we have a Portuguese saying that is something like that. There's not a second time without a third. So this is our
Yeah,
third time because we had two conversations in Portuguese, and they lasted for about, I don't know, an hour and a half or something like
yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah,
Yeah.
time flies. Time flies when we are speaking. So yeah, now this time in English. So yes, it's such an honor and privilege to be here. So I'm very,
Yeah,
very grateful.
for me too. And I'm trying to put this in a position that I can see the comments.
Yeah, because you're using your mobile phone.
I think for now we don't have anybody joining us, but if you join us, please let us know where are you joining from and add your personal energy to this conversation by doing some comments or sharing something that you guys to share. And so, how have you been feeling lately, Claudia?
Well, I, what can I say? Because I feel like I'm in a roller coaster lately. It's like some days I feel so, so balanced, so happy at the same time, and I feel this sense of calmness somehow. And sometimes there are days that I feel like so sad, and I feel like we are all experiencing this transformation in the world, and I believe there are certain parts of ourselves, they are quite of struggling with this transformation. They are like they don't want to release the old planet, we can say, so the old reality, and they are kind of fighting because they don't want to accept and embrace this new world that is, I feel, is being presented to us somehow. So I feel that there are certain parts within myself that are struggling and saying, "No, I don't want this. Let me go back to the old me and the old planet and how things used to be." And actually, I hear a lot of people saying that, like, I want to go back. Let me. I want to go back to what what I think it's normality. But even our sense
Yes.
of normality is gone, because it's like, define what normal is. And
Yes.
people don't know how to do this anymore, because, we had this idea that, okay, normality was like, okay, yes, I wake up, I go and have my work, and then I go home, and this was like a false sense of stability and normality. And now we don't have that anymore. So that's why I feel like I'm personally struggling to embrace everything that is coming. But there are some parts of myself, like, it sounds like I'm bipolar or something like that, but I don't mind.
All bipolar, I feel.
so so yeah, there are parts of myself that are like, yes, this transformation is necessary, and i'm I trust, I release, I let go, I'm present to embrace this transformation. So I'm kind of trying to balance everything. So in one moment, I'm grateful and all of that, and the next moment I'm like, what is going on? Because the thing is, I'm a human being on this planet right now, and part of my humanity is actually suffering, because we are losing so many human beings right now. And I can't ignore that, like, it doesn't matter because this is all part of the transformation. No, yeah, it might be, but at the same time, it's like, yes, but there are families that are losing people that they love, and I cannot ignore that. So sometimes I feel very sad, because it's like I can feel this pain and I can feel this transformation at the same time, and I'm kind of in between and trying to balance everything. So how do you feel all of this? And I might sound crazy. That's okay.
No, I feel pretty much like you. I feel pretty much like you. This duality is the duality, right?
Yeah.
And most of the time I feel more joyful, although I know what has been going on. But let's say that in my reality, since I live in a farm and I live in a I don't go out very much, even when we are not in. Um, I don't know. It's not. I feel that my reality is very different from someone that lives in a city
Yeah.
or that watch the news every day. Like the other when I speak with my mother, for instance, my mother is always very stressed and she's all the time calling me and asking, "Are you okay? Are the kids okay?" And I say, "Yes, we are okay. Everything is calm around here." But for her, since she watch the news every day, she's afraid. She's really afraid. She's stressed,
Yeah.
and although I'm always telling her like being in fear doesn't, and being alive is like if you are alive, you are gonna die, right? So
Yeah.
it's not, and one never knows when it's gonna happen. But we almost we mesmerize ourselves to believe that okay, we'll be old and maybe we'll get
Yes.
sick and then die. But
It's
that
like a
is
cycle.
yeah, that can be, but that can be not, and that's what
Exactly.
we are facing now. Is this impermanence? Also, as you say, there are people dying, but I know that are people dying all the time, even before this situation. But the numbers were not on the television, on the media. But every day, children are dying, like in Africa, from starving, and not only in Africa, in India and poor countries. And so, let's say I believe that's why since years I was in depression because I was feeling all this in the collective, and I
Yeah.
couldn't feel. Uh, I will tell myself, how can I be happy if someone is dying right now from starving, with cold, with not having the basic conditions to live? Then I found this balance. So right now, as you said so well, I feel this sadness too on the collective, and whenever I hear about people that are dying due to COVID, but also I know that people are dying due to several things. So it's finding this balance of what is in front of me right now. So I'm like you. It's flowing between these polarities, let's say, but trying to be in the center and dealing with what is in front of me right now, focusing in what can I do in myself to expand the love, to expand the compassion, to expand the honoring of each human being experience, because I know that since we are all connected, when we are working within, we are affecting the totality. And I was having this conversation with my older kids yesterday, and they were like, "Oh, you are pretending nothing is happening." And I was saying, "I know things are happening. I'm not pretending that is not happening. I know things are happening, but what is in front of me? What can I do?" And then I was giving this example to one of my I say kids, but they are young adults.
Yes.
For instance, like the water in your body is connected to the water in all the planets, because we were speaking entanglement, and he said, "Oh, this is quantum entanglement." I was speaking about the experience that they did, in which they could prove that, for instance, two particles, they can be in the same place in the CERN, in that big accelerator of particles that they do experience. And so one of my kids, they knew about that, and he knew about that, saying, "Oh yeah, and that you understand that everything is connected, right?" So, for instance, the water in your body is connected to the water in all planets, if we think about this. And as I was speaking with him, it was coming more and more, because I feel that when we are speaking with someone, we are expanding more.
Yes.
And
we are co-creating, isn't it?
Yeah. And so that's it. That's how I'm navigating this most of the time. Also, I'm feeling these last days like really busy most of the time. Like 2 or 3 days ago, I was really feeling like a vertigo, but I'm not struggling with it. I'm just okay. So I'm gonna lay down. I'm just allow and flow. I feel that there are energies affecting our bodies coming, and more we allow and just go with it, it's the best. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know, you mentioned so many interesting things there. It's first of all, it's to let everything flow, I think, and we are all connected. It's not, you know, we are connected with every human being on Earth, with the planet, with plants, animals, rocks, whatever. So we are connected with everything. And so if we are aware of that, then we understand, or we feel. It's more like we feel, because you know it's quite hard for our minds to understand. So we feel we have a responsibility here, and our responsibility is, if what I do in my life is going to affect, you know, the planet, nature, what other people around me, then I need to be responsible for that. And I need to make like wise decisions about what I'm doing in my life, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, and what I'm sending to the world, because I believe everything starts within ourselves. So first of all, and I really believe that, because I have been experiencing this in my life, is the foundation of everything is the connection we have with ourselves. It's, I think it's the foundation of everything. If we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, then we won't have a good relationship with other people, because we don't know what a good relation or a healthy relationship is. So if I am, if I'm having a good relationship with myself, then I will be, bringing this to my life. It's like it's overflowing to my life and to the world around me. And this is all part of our responsibility, because what I feel, I look around and, I like nature a lot, as you mentioned in your post. And I'm like, yes, okay. So we like nature, and I was really, diving deep into this, because I was like, yes, I like nature, but what kind of relationship do we have with nature? And because it's not about the outer nature, it's, nature is nature, our inner nature, outer nature, it's all connected. So, and I hear a lot of people saying, I like to go to nature because I feel so good, I feel so energized, and that's why I like to go there. And are we going there because we want to take something? Are we the takers, or are we going there and are we, exchanging energy? So are we honoring the sacredness of nature as it is, like everything, or are we going there, just to take a little bit of energy and go away, like, this is mine? So it's like that kind of, this is a toxic relationship, obviously, because if you go to nature just to feel good, then you're not honoring, you're not grateful for what you've got, you're not, sending love to nature as well, because, I think that this exchange of energy is healthy. It's a healthy relationship. And it's the same thing as we do this with our friends. I just like to go with one person because I feel good. And what about the other person? Am I really looking at the other person? Am I really, feeling the other person? Am I allowing the other person to, be herself or himself? And are we, exchanging energy? Like, do we have this flow, or am I just going there just to take energy and go home, and I don't care about the other person? So I think we need to reconsider this relationship that we have with nature, because it says a lot about ourselves and the relationship we have with ourselves. And at the same time, you mentioned about, death, and I think it's very important, because we are being challenged to look at this in a different perspective, because there is life even after we pass away. Like, it's just our physical bodies that, die, because everything that we are, it's still alive. And to have this idea, even to feel this, it's like that. Let's not overthink about this, because if we overthink, then we are not feeling how deep this is, because it's, there are things, and I think this is the shift we are witnessing here, because people have been, and I include myself because I'm a human being, have been so, so focused on material things. And the thing is, we don't take any of that when we die. We just leave everything here. I'm not saying that we don't need those things. Of course, there are things we need. It's obviously it's good to have, a home, and then to have, things that make us comfortable. But at the same time, people were taking this to an extreme, like I need everything all of a sudden. And then you have all this publicity that, convince you that you need all sorts of things. You need like a new shampoo, and you need makeup, and you need, to travel all around the world just to feel good. And you're like, yeah, maybe I need this. And, this is not the reality of it, because this is an illusion that is being created, and we need to be able to see beyond the illusion, these veils of illusion. And how do we do this? I believe is by feeling the truth behind what is being presented to us. And people might say, yes, but I have my own truth and you have yours, and let's not discuss our truth. And what I believe, this is all my perception, and then you're going to say yours, but my perception is, so there's like a highest truth, and once we are able to see beyond these veils of illusion, and to see beyond all of this, then we are going to have we can say a purest kind of truth, because it's like, I have my truth right now, but of course I have my personality, I have my conditioning, I have my my ideas, my expectations, and all of that. And I want to be able to see the purest truth, because I'm conditioned. And once I'm able to see beyond that, then I will be closer and closer to that highest truth. And it's the same for all of us. So the more we are able to connect with that, of course, this is, it takes lives to get there. But yeah, but I really feel that's the way to go, to, be able to connect with ourselves more and more, to see what's the illusion, what's the, the truth of it. And then once we do that, we keep walking and we find these layers, like, okay, now this is, this is more real than the first impression. Then I go deeper, and then I find something that it's more and more truth. And I feel like it's a path, and the beginning of everything is the connection with ourselves, and to be able to see this theater that is going on within ourselves and outside, and to be able to separate what is real and what is not. That's what I feel.
Yes. I'd like to just say hello to Gary, my friend Gary, that he has been contributing with a lot of comments.
Oh, yes.
And also whoever is joining, but hello, Gary. So happy to see you with us. And actually, I was speaking with Gary 2 days ago. Yesterday, no, it was the day before yesterday. Or there are different truths, how they come together, and yes, so it's we can be many hours speaking about this. Like I was speaking with Gary during like 1 hour and a half about this. And even I was saying, those are all concepts or
I cannot hear you.
You cannot hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, I can. Yes, yes.
Well, very sorry. So I resonate with all that you were sharing, and I feel similar truth, let's say. But also I feel that the speed, because sometimes we say it's a long process, and what I feel right now is like
It's
we choose.
quicker. It's quicker now, isn't it?
Yeah, but also we can also always choose how fast. If we say it is a long process, we are already putting that order to the totality.
Yeah.
Because saying, oh, it will be difficult and a long process. So we are like
We are
making an order.
conditioning ourselves.
Yes, yes. So it's very interesting because it's like you said, there are layers upon layers, or like a onion, and there are many layers and of understanding. And every time that some experience came to us, we can see from a different layer, from a different frequency of vibration. So we get a bigger picture, let's say, or we explore more or expand more in that subject specifically. So it's that what I was saying to Gary, like once you start just flowing with it, and it's really uh, fun, and it's there is a lightness in everything, because you are observing yourself. As you said, you contemplate yourself. You have that space that contemplate and see all those stories that our minds are creating, or our um, conditionings, or and then there is another part that is observing everything, and learning, and all the time, which for me is very learning, but maybe for other person's reality is not. Like I was speaking with my husband today, and I was saying we were speaking about biology and about enzymes like the lactose. I think it's an enzyme in the milk, right? And is used to break molecules of substance. And and I was telling him it's like it's super interesting, and I really feel excited about learning about those things sometimes. And but it has to do with how is my experience and characteristics that I have bring to this experience.
Mhm.
I'm hearing some noise. Is it from my telephone?
I cannot
I'm
hear it.
hearing some noise.
No.
Oh, funny. Yeah. It's the crazy energy.
You're
Oh,
hearing you're
something
hearing
happening.
sounds in your head.
Yeah, maybe. So we have Laura also.
Yes, we
Laura,
do.
thank you, Laura, for being there. Hello.
Hello,
I'm
hello.
putting. I'm
And Gary,
lently put.
so many interesting comments there. Love is the highest
Yeah.
truth. I couldn't agree more. Yes, yes. My truth, your truth. I was saying new age BS. Yes, definitely yes. Because, we are fighting over something. It's like there are parts of ourselves that want to be right all the time. That's why people are arguing, because like I see things. So they are arguing because they have different perspectives. That's okay. But I don't need my perspective. It's just my perspective, and I don't want to impose my perspective on others. Like, yeah, you need to believe exactly what I do. No, we just need to accept others as they are. But at the same time, yes, there is a highest truth, and I believe that. And the more we do what Anna was saying, like we need to observe more and see these dynamics that are happening within ourselves all the time. It's not, and you need to sit, watch, and learn. Like, let me just learn with myself, because I'm a fascinating creature and I have so many things to learn, and I'm here to do that. I'm here to really learn with myself. And I believe love is I believe it's at least it's my religion. It's the way I see things. It's like connect with my heart and with that, highest truth, and that will give me direction, that sense of direction. And the other day I was also thinking, because I like to think about these things, and not only think but also to feel. um, and I was feeling about, people are talking a lot about feminine and masculine energy as well, and I'm like, yeah, okay, right. And there are people that's still saying and associating those kinds of energy with the gender, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so if I am a female, it doesn't mean that I only have like feminine energy, because if I do, I won't have much direction in life. I will be feeling everything, I will be so sensitive and all of that, but then no direction at all. So I will get lost a lot, like, where was I going? I don't know. Yeah, but I want to feel this once again, and maybe I'll feel that as well, and maybe I don't know. And so we need to balance all of this. It's like, I'm a female, but at the same time I have both energies within myself, and I need to learn how to balance these two, because yeah, it's good to have also balanced masculine energy, because it will give me the sense of direction that I need in life. But at the same time, if I only have like masculine energy, then I will have a lot of direction. I will be really focused, but then I won't enjoy the journey. I will be just, I go, let me just, achieve this goal, and then yeah, it's done. Next one, I don't care. So let's just let's go for it. So it's these dynamics within ourselves, because for so long I was just focusing too much on masculine energy. So I was operating mainly in my masculine energy, like I need to get things done, and I don't care, because I think it's the way we had to survive as women. And then people were saying that, you sound so, cold, and because I wasn't expressing that side of myself, because I felt it was wrong to do it. And and people associate sometimes, and I think it's a wrong concept if you feel it, vulnerability with weakness. And I was associating that. For me, it was like the same thing. No. I don't want to sound weak at all. No, because I'm a strong woman. So I'm not going to show my vulnerability. And then once I started to do that, everything changed, because I think that was the part of myself that was missing, because I was just doing for the sake of doing things. Like, okay, it feels like, yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Let me just go there. And people wanting me to go to I don't know, a workshop or a retreat or whatever. And I was like, yeah, why not? My mind was just so happy. Yay, let's go, let's learn things. and and I was like, no. And now that I'm connecting more with what I'm feeling, it's completely different, because I'm like, yeah, this is interesting, but it's not for me. It's not right now. Maybe later, I don't know, I will see, but not right now. So I'm able now to connect more with what I need right now, and not what I want, because we want a lot, especially our minds convince us that we need a lot of stuff, that we don't have enough, that we need more. And so I was like, maybe I don't, maybe I don't. And then, because when I realized I was doing so many things at the same time, and I was doing that just for the sake of doing it, and it wasn't good for me, and it's part of the journey, I believe. And you were talking about, yes, just observe yourself, learn with yourself, just take notes if you need to, and just do that, because it's like embracing everything that's within us. And something that helped me a lot was to really question myself, because I wasn't doing that previously. I was just doing because I thought, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Yeah, yes, no. And and then because it was like I was in automatic mode. It's like, yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, people say it's good, so let's just do it. And I think we spoke about this the other time in our conversation in Portuguese. And it's the thing is, now I'm connecting more with what I feel, and I think that's a good start. This is a good foundation for us to have this healthy relationship with ourselves, to question, to question, am I deciding this? Is this based on a healthy side of myself or not? And this is a very deep question, because sometimes we do things because we still have voices in our head of our parents, of our friends, of our families, of whatever, saying, no, you should do this because I don't know, you had it. So, and we need to really stop for a moment, observe, and decide based on what you feel, and to really feel, because it's like stopping all the noise. It's like, okay, I have all of this noise around me. Yes, old programming. Yes, you're right, Laura. Yes, that's exactly that. And we need to really question it, and stop it, and feel it, and connect with our hearts, and really ask ourselves, is this the best for me right now? And and just allow the answer to come, to be revealed. That's what I feel. And this is so important. I feel this is really the foundation of everything, because if we are able to do this with ourselves, then our relationship with others will improve, because we will be able to see beyond these veils, because we will see what other people are doing as well with us themselves, and then we can identify, like, yes, this is coming from an unhealthy part of this person, and I'm not going to make this person this particular moment. This person is more than this behavior, is more than what she or he said right now, because maybe it came from a wound, or it's like to have compassion, because when we do this with ourselves, we need to have a lot of compassion, because we have a lot of rubbish within ourselves as well. So to accept that and embrace, like, yes, it's part of me, and I'm going to accept that, and transform this. Then we will be able to do with others as well. So yes, I could speak about this like all night, because it's something that I'm fascinated about, and it has been changing completely my life, the way I see things, and especially the way I see myself. It's like it's an authentic approach to life, and to be who I am, and to accept who I am, and to love, and to respect, and to honor even those parts of myself that are quite challenging and challenge me, and and that sometimes, and that are so unbalanced, that make me do things that are not the best things for me, and to be able to to look at that and accept that, and say, okay, all right, I still have some work to do, but it's okay. I'm a human being. I'm here to learn. This is, I'm in this school, and this is a school, this planet. So it's to look at things as they are. And you mentioned as well, Anna, about creating a story about what is happening. This is part of observing as well, because sometimes we look at things and we create a story about that specific thing, and we are losing presence when we do that, because you look at one thing and you said, okay, yeah, this is happening because, or maybe, and so you start to speculate, in your mind just takes you somewhere, and And once you do that, you really look at things as they are, and you don't create a story. Then this is part of observing the experience, and to be with experience without having to go to your mind to, because our minds are going to take us away from that experience, and we are avoiding. When we do that, we are avoiding that experience. We are creating a story. And this has been part of my journey. I just wanted to share with you guys, just, what do you feel about all of this? And this is so deep and so simple at the same time.
I was just having a look in the comments. I would speak, and then I remember that I read some books of a guy which is a neurosurgeon, I think neuroscientist, and Augusto Cury. He's a Brazilian guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was hearing you, and of course it was coming back to me, like, because it's like our mind is a computer. It's a very good computer. And so our minds, whenever our minds observe and create stories, like, is related to situations in our life. I'm hearing the echo. That's funny. And so, yeah. Oh, so when our minds, even that, if your mind is creating a story and saying like, oh, these people, they are this or that, or they don't care about me, or they this, blah, 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 whatever your mind is creating is connected with some experience that you had.
Yeah.
Because your mind is really a very good teacher and goes there and at the same time and creates this story to protect you in a way, because for the mind, which is a computer and that doesn't have this how do I say? Yeah, maybe the mind is much masculine in a way. I don't know, because it's all about connect and really rationalizing, and I don't know.
It depends on the side of the brain you're using, because you have the right side and the left side. So, and it's associated with different energies. But at the same time, yes, if you connect with the idea of mind, yes, I believe if you think about, maybe it's more masculine in a certain way, because you associate, mind with masculine and heart with feminine, because it's like feel and think.
When you feel, you go to the feminine, right? And and so that's why now also they are speaking about the feminine rising, in the sense that people are going to the feeling instead of the rationalizing of the mind, let's say. I have been seeing these last days a kaleidoscope, and after I speak with Gary, it was stronger. And because the kaleidoscope, there are mirrors, and those mirrors, which I did kaleidoscopes with my kids, there is just, it's a triangle of mirrors, 3, and then you get many images, and that reflection creates the image of the kaleidoscope and amplifies. So you just have 3 mirrors, but then, which is what it's our connection between all the human beings, and also how the universe works. So that's what I'm seeing these last days. It's like stop and mirrors, and we speak, and there are so many mirrors being presented to us and creating an image which is like fractals, and we can choose to see. Once we are conscious, we can choose to look in that mirror, and then look in the other one, and then as we turn, we see another one, and the image is already different. And
yes, that's what, they use that against us in advertising. It's like, because they
Yes.
introduce you an idea that you need something. It's like they put a mirror in front of you and say, look at your hair. Your hair is a mess. You need a new shampoo or a conditioner or whatever. You need something new. And you're like, and you start to wonder, it's part of the observing kind of process. It's like, do I do I need this? Or because our minds, the first uh, impulse is like, yeah, I'm going to buy that just to see how it works because it might be good. And then once you step back and you observe the reaction, because this is a reaction you just had, like, why am I going to buy this? Okay, and then it's part of the questioning. Why do I need to buy this? Maybe I don't. And because it's part of accepting who you are. Of course, there are things you need. Of course, we all have basic needs, and there are things that we actually need. But when we see advertising, it's about convincing you that you need all sorts of things. And there are things that it's not what you really need. It's what your ego wants to hear, because it convinced you, like, if you have this, then you will have a lot of friends. And they're not saying this directly, but then they are presenting this image that if you get that car, then you will be socializing with people, and you will be people just happy and all cheerful. And you're like, yeah, okay. So they are associating having that with happiness. And of course, they
Yeah.
are not saying directly to you, like, look at this. If you get the car, then you will have a lot of happiness. So they are convincing our brains, because our brains are going to because we have all of this happening in our minds, like, am I good enough? Am I this? Should I have this? Should I have that? So we are questioning all the time. And yeah, we're never happy with anything. If we are just listening and being manipulated by our own minds. And it's part of asking, do I really need this? And most of the times the answer is no, you don't. And I'm not saying that, and you might think, yeah, but what should we do with our minds? Just, I don't know, throw it away? Not really. Not really, because our minds are just so powerful if we know how to use it wisely. But it means we need to do a lot of observing and saying, okay, so my mind is saying this, but let me just question this for a minute, because this is my decision. This is my body. This is my life. So I need to really stop and ask myself, do I need this? Because sometimes when we don't do this, we are doing things based on what our minds are telling us, and not just allowing ourselves just, okay, let me just observe this. Because then, so we will observe all of these ideas and all of these conditionings and old programming, as Laura was saying, and we can have a lot of compassion for the because, as you said, Anna, this is the way we survived in life. So we had to find these strategies, we can say, in order to survive, because in our childhood, we didn't know how to deal with a lot of stuff. And this is the reality of it. We didn't have like a perfect childhood. And I don't know what that is, what a perfect childhood is. I don't know. And, at that time, we didn't know how to deal with things as we know right now. Or maybe we don't know, I don't know. And sometimes we still don't know how to deal with a lot of things, and it's okay. But at that time, it was harder than it is right now. So we had to find these strategies, because what we were, seeing is I'm not being accepted, or the idea behind it was I'm not being seen, accepted, loved, and respected as I am. So I need to build like a character to be accepted and to be loved and all of that. And so these were strategies in order to survive, and they were useful at that time. We cannot say no, that we did the wrong thing. No, we did the right thing. We did what we knew, so we did the best we could do, and we always do that. That's why
Yeah.
it's we need a lot of compassion for ourselves. Like, I'm doing my best right now, and I can do things differently in the future, but right now I did my best. And those strategies, they helped us in the past. But the thing is, if we keep those strategies as adults, then they are going to ruin our lives. We are going to be so lost because we are just doing this without questioning what we are doing, without feeling if this is really coming from a healthy place. And sometimes it's not coming from a healthy place. It's coming from all this conditioning, this old programming, and this expectation. And we do this to get that. So this is about results and getting things. And ultimately, what I feel is we do this with the same reasons we were doing as kids. So we were doing this we are still doing this as adults, to be seen, to be respected, to be loved as we are, as we are. And my question here is, are we doing that with ourselves? Are we accepting, loving, respecting, honoring who we are right now? So that's the core question, because if we are going outside to get this, then we will be lost most of the time, because then we will be relying on people, circumstances, material things to have that sense of belonging and to be loved, and then we will be expecting more and more, because nothing is going to be enough. And I don't think this is a healthy way to go. And we are being invited really to focus on us. That's why a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, okay, so we need to be isolated. We cannot go out." Maybe this is part of the journey to really learn to be with yourself. And a lot of people had to do that. Some people, I spoke with with a lot of people, and they were saying, I'm so fed up to be with myself, to be at home, And this is like, okay. So my question is, what kind of relationship do you have with yourself if you cannot enjoy your own company? And this is this is part of the questioning. So as you see, I like to question a lot.
Me too. I feel we are very similar. We have very similar minds and also, points in our path that are similar. It's very interesting because we are coming back to the beginning, because we were speaking about nature, and you were telling what you go to the nature for. Is it just to connect, or are you just going there and getting something and coming back, and in a, let's put a label, in a selfish way? Let's say you didn't use the word, but it's like, okay, I'm going there, I'm getting something, and that's it. And then you created the parallel between the relationships, and now, as you were speaking, I was seeing us to come back and closing the circle in that sense, which is yes, being with ourselves, learning to be with ourselves, feeling love, not searching for love in the external, which That's why we want to have things. That's why our ego wants to, all ego-related issues are connected with not being able to feel the love by ourselves, and so searching love outside and searching even in nature. So it's all connected, right? It's like you're creating a relationship with yourself, in the sense, as you said, being compassionate about yourself, being loving yourself, not in a egotical way, but knowing that you are worthy and that you don't have to prove anything to anybody. And so even nobody can hurt you or do anything to you, because it's their perspective and their truth, it's not yours.
Yes.
That maybe your truth is, I am worthy, no matter what happens. Yes, no matter if my hair is like this or that. Like the beginning, I
So
was
wild. Crazy.
so before we started, and because still we think, okay, so I'm looking this or that way, and people will label me because I look this or that way. We are still focusing on the external and our appearance and what we have or what we. So yeah, it's and as you say, it's a long, but also it can be short. It's and a process. Even
Yeah.
that is, yeah, it's our choice. Once we are able to see that we can choose, whenever our mind creates those stories, we can say no, 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 no.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like to take responsibility for what is happening. It's like,
yeah,
yes, my mind is creating the story. And sometimes it's not what is happening. It's not what is happening. A lot of times it's not about what is happening, it's how we see things. And we are seeing things based on our conditioning once again. So the
yeah,
way we were told to see things, or based on the experiences we had. Because, for instance, if we in our childhood, people were saying, "Don't cry, don't cry. No, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, you're good. No, don't cry because it's not good to cry. It's not a good thing." Then you will associate that. You will associate that, no, if I do that, I'm not being accepted as I am. I'm not being loved. So it's not a good thing. And and they repeat that a lot. Imagine if your parents do that a lot. Would you say, no, it's not okay to cry, no, you don't need to do that, no, it's okay, let's just forget about this and go and play? You will learn that it's not a good thing to express your emotions. And
yeah,
as an adult, you will avoid to do that because you had this conditioning saying it's not okay, or you're not accepted if you're just crying or expressing your emotions. And then we use that later in life, but we will be, it will be hard to have relationships if we are not getting in touch with our emotions and expressing them in a healthy way, because then things will be happening and we won't be able to process what is happening. So it's part of our growth, I feel, to accept who we are. And it's about being authentic. And being authentic, it's not, I need to be happy and cheerful all the time and to be, oh no, life is good, and let's just go and enjoy life and to be all cheerful all the time. This is not being authentic. Being authentic is, I'm here right now, embracing my experience, and not going to judge or to label what is happening. Because sometimes there are things that happen, and sometimes it still happens to me. Sometimes someone says something or does something, And then I create this story based on past situations, like, this person did, and sometimes it's just the voice in my mind. This person did this because, I'm not being seen, I'm not being respected, and who does she or he thinks, all these voices. And then I'm like, okay, when there is this, kind of fighting within myself, I feel like this. It's like it's not comfortable. I feel this discomfort, and what I do is I stop and observe that, because I feel it's time to take notes. Like, okay, why am I feeling this way? And then I observe, and it's hard. It's really easy to see that I created me, and because our brain are linking that situation with a past situation, or with some of my conditioning or some of my wounds. Like, it's hurting me a lot, and I don't know what this is, but I'm going to observe this, and then once we are able to do that, we are not blaming the other person because of his or her behavior. We're like, okay, so that behavior, or or what the other person said, it affects me because I still have things to really look at, and to, we can say, to heal. And so we don't blame the other person. Of course, we we deserve to be respected, and we're not going to say, yeah, you're not respecting me, so come here and I'll give you a hug. No, you're going to say, I'm going to be honest with myself first, because if I'm honest with myself, I'm not blaming the other person. And part of being authentic is to communicating if we need to, because sometimes we don't need to. When we do that with ourselves, we're like, okay, yes. And then all the extra luggage or the extra weight we had, then you don't need that anymore, because you observed the cause of it, and you heal that yourself, so you're good to go. You're like, yeah, cool, yep, I had to look at this, I had to heal this, so I'm good to go. And sometimes, even if we do that, we have the need, and that's why we need to really feel if we still need to communicate that to the other person, and saying, when you did this, I felt this way. So I'm not blaming the other person, saying, you did this, you're responsible for my pain.
You are the person.
You are the one. So you're the villain of this story. I'm the good person. I'm the angel here. I'm playing with this because sometimes we have to. Because sometimes it seems like we are in a movie. I feel that a lot of times. So, and so we communicate. We are coming from a place of vulnerability, of authenticity, saying, I felt this way, and so I would appreciate if maybe next time if you want to, then you could do something different, and you can suggest, because if people like you, they are going to accept that, and they're like, okay, I didn't know. And a lot of the times that I did this, because I'm still learning how to do this, because I wasn't used to really communicate what I was feeling. I was just, swallowing that, like, okay, let me just ignore that and pretend it's not happening. And now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm observing. And if I feel I need to communicate, I'm going to do it, and I'm doing it. And it's interesting because the reactions normally people have, it's like, oh, I didn't know that if I was doing this, it would hurt you, or you would feel this or that. And because if you don't communicate, people don't know that it's hurting you, that maybe that situation is, taking you back to, your childhood somehow, and to moments you don't want to relive it constantly in your life. So normally people, if they like you as you are, if they accept you, they are going to avoid doing that again. if they don't care about you, maybe they will do that again and again and again and again. And then it's their decision. It's not about you, because when you communicate, you're not um, imposing anything. You're not saying you should do this. You're just suggesting. You're coming from a place of vulnerability. You're saying, I felt hurt in this way, or I didn't feel seen in that way, or whatever. And when you do this, you're coming from this place, very sensible way, very sensitive, not sensible, sensitive and sensible, yeah, sensible as well. And so, if the other person really is interested in you as you are, and really accepting you as you are, is going to avoid really doing that again. And maybe it's going, you are encouraging the other person to do the same thing with you. And that's how you build a healthy and authentic relationship. But first, you need to start with yourself. And we are going back to the beginning. The foundation is always the relationship you have with yourself, because we need to be honest first with ourselves, so we can communicate this with others. So we're still going back, because it's the foundation of everything in our life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it is. It is.
Always the infinity. Yeah.
Did these
Here,
guys wake you up
Claudia.
as well? Yeah, I'm seeing what Gary is. Did these guys wake you up as well?
Oh,
Which guys? I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see that at the time.
Barbara, and did these guys wake you up as well? I don't know which guys. Gary is referring.
If you want to learn, if you're ready to, if you open to learn, you will, and it's part of the experience. Every relationship we have in our lives, every situation, everything, it's part of the learning process. If you accept that, if you embrace that experience, because if you are saying, as I said previously, so they are the villains, they are the bad guys, then you won't, because you're labeling those people. You're saying, no, they are less than you are. They are not. And it's part of our ego as well, saying that we are superior. And the thing is, when we, and I experienced this as well, once I started to my spiritual journey, if we want to call it, I was so curious about this and all of that. Actually, I felt this sense of separation, because at that time I felt, because I knew a few things and because I experienced a few things, that I wanted other people to do that as well. I wanted other people to think like me as well. So I wasn't accepting others as they were. And I had this notion that, yeah, because I have this knowledge, maybe I should spread this and people should know. And and this is part of our ego saying you should do things that you don't have to, because when you really connect with this idea and you feel this idea that we are all connected, we are all part of this, and we are all doing our best every time. Even that person that you're saying that should do a lot of things that they are not doing at the moment, but who are you to say what other person should do? Obviously, you can give your opinion if that is affecting you directly, because obviously, if you are in a relationship and someone is doing something that is affecting you directly, maybe you should take responsibility for that and say, look, I feel this way, and to have an honest conversation. But if we are talking about the way people are choosing to live, then it's their decision. It's not our decision. And who are we to think we know what other people should do? Because we don't know their stories. We don't know what they have been through. We don't know their challenges. We're not living their lives. So it needs a lot of not only compassion, but humility to say, look, I'm still trying to figure out how to live my life. So if I'm still in that process myself, learning how to really embrace who I am, who am I to think that other people should be different or should behave in a different way? Who am I? So it's part of, looking in the eyes of our ego and saying, you're not superior. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're not. You're not. Because that other human being is human or animal, whatever, is as important as you are. And the other day, I heard something that it's like the problem in this, if we can say the problem in this planet, is humanity. Is us as human beings. We are the ones learning, because what I heard is, look at animals. They are behaving the same way they used to. Look at plants. They are doing the same thing. Look at, look all around you. So human beings are, they weren't, they haven't been respecting the planet and all forms of life. So if we are not doing this, and if we haven't been doing this for generations, then we are being invited now to take responsibility and to do something different. So we are the ones, so that's why we are here, and we are being called and invited directly right now in this moment in time to really have this deep connection with ourselves, to be authentic, and to take that to our lives and to the relationships we have with others. And that will impact, not only us, our lives, but the world. So it's being part of the solution and not the problem, because we have been part of the problem for quite a long time. And now it's time for us to, we can say, clean our own mess.
Yeah. Yes.
I cannot put it in a different way.
Yes. Mm. Very good, Claudia. Very good. Yeah.
Oh, so grateful to be here. If you allow me, I won't stop talking.
No, we can we have to do another one, right?
Exactly. That's the first part.
Yeah, that's first part.
I don't know
That's
how many.
that is the part one, let's say. And let me just see the comments. We have John Corpy saying hello from Maui. Thank you,
Hey.
John. I think John said this a long time ago, but and we had Barbara Ake, and Gary says he fall asleep. Barbara says variety isn't spice, is the spice of the life, yes. And she sends kisses, and Gary sends a lot of stickers, and yes, all connected. And Gary is jumping from the computer and saying, "Hey,
I'm back." Back to life.
I'm
Stronger than ever.
back to life." I just for finish, I just would like to share with you and all that as I was listening to you, I was laughing for a moment because these last days is like, uh, um, for me, the closest, and I think for all of us, our family, our closest relationships are our best mirrors, and that our challenges, and to go further and to expand more if we decide to accept the challenge, which we are free to do or not. But and so like the last days, every time that my husband says something and in a way that triggers something in me, and I was going to, I don't know, say something like less nice, kind, I I stop and I say, you are so awesome. And when I say that, it's amazing because the energy changed right away. So I leave this challenge triggers you, you stop, you breathe, and you say, "You are fantastic. You are awesome," and observe what happens. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Because it kind of breaks the energy. It's like, because you normally, when that happens, when you triggered, then you have to deal with the story. It's like an illusion. You created an illusion based on what was happening. And then once you do that, it's like you're breaking the illusion. Like, no, I'm just choosing to see this person deep within as she or he is, not labeling this person based on the behavior or based on what is causing me in me. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
It's yeah, and as you said, yes, the our closest relationships are really mirrors to us. We have a lot to learn, and a lot to accept as well, because it's easier with someone that you're not that close to look at that, but and to look and say, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And then when you have to leave
exactly.
with people and you have to deal with those people in a daily basis, and there are a lot of situations that you feel like triggered, that once again, those are the times to take notes. and maybe to say, you're awesome, I love you, you're amazing. You don't need to say that to the person, because maybe she or he is going to think, what.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Are you saying,
and
yeah, wow.